So if you had to guess what the turnover rate is at Walmart, what would you guess? 30, 40, maybe 50%? Well, considering that most mega carriers that make, well, actually all the mega carriers that make 30 million in revenue or more, right now they're sitting at between 74 and 94%. That's a crazy amount of turnover. Obviously, it's a sure sign that something's not good there. People aren't happy. Well, here at Walmart, it's actually 7% as of 2022. That's crazy low compared to the rest of them. When I first came here, the turnover rate was 3%, and that was 17 years ago. And I think the only reason that happened is because either people passed away or they retired. Very few people got fired or quit. And so, it's got to be a good job if people aren't leaving. I mean, that's a crazy low turnover rate considering we've doubled our private fleet. Well, I think when I first came here, I think we had 6,000 drivers, and then I think it's somewhere around 13,000 now, and we're still hiring. I mean, they're definitely hiring everywhere. I mean, some places no, but I mean, quite a few places actually. And, they're ready to hire. I know that because since I've been doing these videos, I always ask about if you want to use me as a referral. A lot of people say, oh, well, you're just saying all this good stuff about Walmart because you want to get the referrals. Well, actually, no, I really do want to help people. And I can prove that because out of 2 years that I've been making these videos, I've only gotten 3 referrals. And if I was in it for the referrals, I would have quit about a year ago. But that's okay. I tell everybody the same thing. If you want me to answer questions, help you along, I give out my email, which here's my email here. And you can ask me whatever you want. I'll try to help. I'll do whatever it takes. But as far as a referral goes, I know they're wanting to hire quickly because I had a guy, and I won't mention his name because maybe he doesn't want to mention, but I had a guy here on the 30th, 30th of July. He asked me some questions. I told him the answers. He went and applied, and he got a call back on the 2nd. And now they're doing his background and getting them all set up here to see if he can go on to the next step to get an interview, actually show up and do onboarding. And so that's 3 days. He got a call back in 3 days, and I'd have to look at the calendar, but that might even have been the weekend. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. Point is that, obviously Walmart's still wanting to hire. This guy only has 3 years experience. He has a good record. He told me that he didn't have any accidents or tickets. Good record. Everything's been smooth. But he's only got 3 years experience, and Walmart's right on top of that. He got a call back sooner because he used me as a referral. And I really hope that he gets a job. We'll see what happens. But, when I read stuff online about this turnover rate and how Walmart's at 7%, I love to hear that because, I know some drivers, they think, oh, I'm not sure if I should do this, or, I'm really taking a chance here. I hear all this bad stuff about Walmart. Well, you can hear whatever you want online. That's just people talking. You're always going to have the disgruntled people that probably got fired or didn't get hired and they're upset about that. Or they're going to tell you how great it was back in the day and how it's just, a terrible company. It's just another Swift or something like that, Well, it's pretty hard for them to say that and actually be taken seriously when you got a company that has a 7% turnover rate and all the other carriers are like astronomically higher. So, I mean, that pretty much tells you people like working here. They get a job here, they don't leave. I mean, some people leave, but I mean, overall, for the most part, people don't leave here. When they start here, leaving is the last thing they want to talk about. The first thing I hear out of everybody's mouth is, I wish I'd have done this years ago. Better late than never. I'm glad I'm here now. Here in Red Bluff, a lot of the guys that got hired after me, they're still here, and I talk to them, and they still say they're thrilled that they made the choice. It was a good decision. I get to see that as an employee because I work here. I get to actually talk to hundreds of people over a course of time, and I get all this feedback on how great it is. Well, it doesn't do me any good because I already work here. I already know that. But for you guys out there that don't have a lot of experience, or you think that you're taking some kind of chance and that, you know, you're going to mess up your career because you're going to go someplace that's got all these rules and they're going to be so mean to you and oh, I'm not going to get my own truck ever and just all this stuff. And just, you know, if you're feeling shook up about that kind of thing, just think for a minute. 7%. 7% turnover. People like working here. They're not leaving. So we'll see what happens. But if this person that just got a call back in 3 days gets hired, then that'll be 4 referrals I've had in 2 years. I mean, that's not that great. And I don't mind. I'm totally fine with that. When I started this channel, the reason why I started this channel is because I found myself talking to people in the halls, like, have you told, who have you told about working here? Have you guys said anything? And most of the drivers are like, nah, I don't mess with that. And so it stays a secret, really, on how good it is to work here. And I think, back when I first started driving, I would have loved to have someone come tell me, hey, you know what? Here's the numbers of where I work at. You should come check it out. I didn't get that. By me getting a job here, it was by chance. I had one guy say something that I really took to heart, in which it was the vice president of the company I used to work at. And he said they just couldn't compete with that DC up the road. Well, that told me that everybody in our area, which we live in back then I was living down by Red Bluff, it's a small area. There's not a lot of jobs. And everybody was going to get a job at Walmart or tried to. And that was just a little bit of information that I got. And, I made a phone call. I ended up getting hired. And after I got hired, they only hired one more batch of people after that. And that's it. It went on a hiring freeze for I don't even know how many years. So, it was just pure luck that I ended up getting a job here at Walmart. But it's a whole new world now. They're wanting to increase their fleet. They're wanting to increase what they do. For instance, the teams, we run teams cross country and back. We never did that before. That was a pilot program thing here just a few years ago. And now they're going forward with that. And I'm being told that these guys, they're getting paid like $4.86 or something like that a day. They're out for 6 days and then they get to go home, I think, for 3 days. Don't quote me on that one, but and they come home, they only work a portion of the day and they end up getting paid that 6th day the whole day. How many team positions in the United States at these mega carriers are going to pay you $486 a day to run teams across country and get to go home every 6th day? Yeah, it's not that many. So, they're expanding. A lot of our grocery DCs, we've had outside carriers, and I've been watching them go one by one. The contract comes up, they don't renew it. All of a sudden, that DC is full of Walmart drivers. It takes a couple of hundred drivers to run, at least that, to run like a large grocery DC. And, this has been taking place over the last several years. And, we have the Alaska run. I know that it used to be just a few chosen few, and now I think the business is kicked up there. And, there's, I don't know how many people, but I know Rich here on YouTube, he's doing it. He's loving it, and he's getting paid even more than the guys that are running the teams. And so Walmart's expanding. They're doing more. They're hiring. It can't be a bad place if it's 7% turnover. So in light of these two different facts that I came across, the turnover rate thing and talking to the driver that hopefully will get hired, I had to get on here and share that with you guys. Numbers don't lie. So think about that if you're thinking about coming to Walmart. And by the way, if you want to use me as a referral, the information will be right here on the screen. You just put that in on Walmart, driveforwalmart.com, and there should be a part there where it says, how did you hear about Walmart? And I think you have to go to the other drop-down menu where it says other and put the info in. I'd appreciate it, and you will get a call back sooner. And again, if you don't use me as a referral, or you're just wondering about this whole thing, you know, you're welcome to email me. I mean, I'll be glad to answer questions and help. So here's my email here, Don at 20plustrucking.com. And yeah, that's what I got for you. So I'll catch you guys later.